session here. Not unlikely though, we do this, do this probably about 4 times a week right now. Getting ready for this Mr. Olympia contest. I like to train my abs or calves, a little bit of cardio, and then posing at night. So it ends up being about an hour session by the time it's all done. Right now I'm just doing 30 minutes of this lower intensity cardio. Usually I break it up 15 minutes during my workout, when I do my workout, and then later 15 minutes at night, but I didn't get it done today. So I'm here tonight, had some BCAAs in me. Gums in, so you know it's time to do work. All those of you who watch the Swoldier Nation, it's time to go to work when that gums goes in. So tonight, abs 101. We're gonna be breaking it down for you, showing you the basic ab training. You know, abs are one of those body parts that it's really easy to tell if someone's in shape or not. You know, when you ask someone how strong they are, you know, if you want to know if someone's strong, you ask them how much they bench. If you want to see if they're in shape, you say, show me your six-pack. So abs are the key. If you think about bodybuilding, about anything, the male physique, the female physique, and if you draw an X, you have wide shoulders, big legs. Where does that X meet? Well, on the human body, that's at your abs. So you can't neglect ab training, but there's a lot of myths out there we'll talk about tonight when it comes to abs, and in regards to how you can train your abs by training them with weight, by training them every day. We're gonna be talking about all that kind of stuff tonight. One thing though, you do have to train abs. In season, off season. For me, I train them all the time. But obviously, diet's gonna play a huge role. Get your warm up in. Time to get a six-pack. Oh. Yo, it's been a low carbs to the tune of about 150. So if I say some stupid stuff, this is why. And for you guys, the earbuds come out. Huh. Instagram. You gotta love the Instagram videos. Just started playing on me. Whoa. All right, ab work. It's all about coming in, hitting it hard, full range of motion. You don't need a whole lot to do ab exercises, and this is ab 101. So you're gonna see a lot of basic stuff here, talking about basic movements, really stressing form, getting in good work, good quality work, as opposed to a ton of quantity. We'll do some videos in the future that will introduce different exercises. But today we're talking about ab exercises. We're primarily talking about crunches. Now what the crunch is gonna do is going to shorten the angle between your sternum, your rib cage, and your pelvis. So it's gonna be crunching this way. You know, it's not the sit-up mentality, it's a crunch. We're actually rounding our back, and your back doesn't wanna round that much. So when I say full range of motion in an ab, the actual range of motion isn't very far, but full range of motion meaning all the way that the abs can go. So we're not gonna let the back take over. So when I talk about a crunch, you can do crunches any number of ways. First way is just your standard crunch. You know, your legs can be on the ground, they can be on a bench, but what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna be bringing my upper body, curling my back as far as I can forward. That's as far as it goes, people. You know, any more, and you're just bringing those iliopsoas into there. So right there, blowing out all the air and squeezing at the top. You know, you're not gonna sit here just going crazy with the crunches. That's not working anything. It's just using momentum. So again, we're here, We're here, and we crunch forward. You can also do that, and that's gonna primarily work these upper abdominals. Now, anytime you do an ab exercise, you're gonna bring in the entire abdominal region to working it out, but you can target different areas. You know, your abs insert right around your pelvis. So they start very low, and they insert right up in your 5th or 6th rib cage up there, your 5th or 6th rib. So it's one of those things that you can work up. You have your upper abs, your lower abs, and then to work the lower abs, very simply, it's gonna be a reverse crunch. And all we're doing here is we're bringing the pelvis, we're decreasing that angle between the pelvis and the sternum. Again, blowing out all the air. Nice and slow and controlled. You can't spot reduce. Now, that's a myth you hear all the time. Spot reductions. I want to get better abs, so I'm going to go do 1,000 sit-ups and I'm going to get better abs. Well, that will spot shape your abs, but that's not going to reduce the amount of fat that you carry in your ab sections. Now, how we carry fat and how we get rid of fat, that's predetermined. It's a genetic thing. Most men carry more adipose tissue or fat in their midsection. Women can be fairly high in body fat percentage and still have relatively good abs because they carry more in their legs and their butt. So for guys, to get your abs to show up, it's going to be about reducing body fat. Now, your body is programmed to where when you have a caloric deficit, you're going to lose body fat. But it doesn't mean it's all going to come off evenly. Do you have a 6-pack? Do you only have 4? When I get real lean, I get 1, 2, 3, and then I get a little one kind of up here. You can see they're not perfectly straight, but you have your lower abs and your upper abs, and that's your rectus abdominals. You also have your obliques. Now the function of the oblique is to twist your midsection here, to twist your spinal column, I guess. It's very simple. We're gonna be doing circuit rounds. The first exercise is gonna be just your basic reverse crunch. No need to get fancy here. Right here, all the way up, squeezing. To make it a little bit harder, just come over an incline slant board. So by doing them here, you're just forcing more gravity to come into the equation, more gravity to weigh those heavy legs down. Holding on, again, this is just an ab exercise, a lower ab exercise. Next up, I like getting a broomstick twist. Now they call them broomstick twist because back in the day, actually you used to do them with just a broomstick. Nowadays, we have these little tiny girly weights people do aerobics classes with. So I'll just get on the ball, making sure my head stays straight, my shoulders twist, but I'm not twisting my whole upper body. I'm just twisting those obliques. Again, anytime you do an ab work, blow out all the air and hold it at peak contraction, but keeping that back straight, bend at the waist. Oblique exercise. Something else, the obliques. We work the obliques back to our incline sit-up here. Coming down to about a 45-degree angle and just twisting. You see a lot of people doing these with a weighted medicine ball. You don't need to do that. You don't need to add size to our waist. You need to just define it, keep it nice and trim. Moving on to our upper abs. Now I always like to do a little bit more for my lower abs because they're harder for me to develop. But for upper abs, pretty simple. Things like crunches, medicine ball crunches. Again, this is a sit-up. All we need to do is crunch those abs. Shortening it, it's like an accordion. Just shortening it as much as you can. Your lower back is the determining factor on how far you can go. You know, my abs won't let me crunch any further, anymore, and it's just all lower back. So once your lower back starts taking over, that's when you want to stop. It should just be all those abs. But, you know, this is abs 101. So I really just want to show you the basic exercises. There's more stuff that's going to require I guess an increase in difficulty. people to have a kind of a mastery of this basic stuff. So master the basic crunch, switch it up for a ball. You can even do them on the decline board. But real quick, I'll just take you through one of my ab workouts. It's just setting up for our basic abs 101. Just so you can see muscles working a little bit more. Hope I don't get in trouble for this. We're gonna show you exactly the circuit training, basic 101 that you need to do 3 times a week. We'll get more in depth. You'll start seeing a lot more exotic exercises, but this is just your basic. When you start off with this, you're gonna develop a good midsection. Try to be good, nice and controlled the entire time. Our third exercise in this, just gonna be our basic crunch. Tell you what, you get tired fast, make you feel like someone just punched you. One thing too, if you want to be a competitive bodybuilder, you might want to start working on the vacuum. The vacuum's just a pose that Arnold did, Frank Zane, all those guys made popular back when, you know, the tiny waist was still a very important look to have on stage for a bodybuilder. And nowadays they do so much heavy lifting that they start getting away from that nice tiny waist. But in the vacuum, you're just gonna suck your abs up as high as you can and hold. It's a not easy thing to do, but once you get better at doing it there, you can do it on your knees. And pretty soon you start just having that control. Tonight's a posing night. Posing, figuring out where your abs, the right angle they look good for. You know, am I gonna hit that V or that oblique shot? You know, I have to train the abs in a very wide range of areas, lower, upper, obliques, just to bring out all the tiny little details. Tell you what, if you really do them and you focus on the intensity of the full range of motion, you don't need fancy equipment, you don't need to do crazy exercises, just the good old crunch will work.